Now let's go to a very, very important dimension, and that is immigration and labor organizing. Because when we take a look at throughout the history and development of capitalism in the United States, workers have always sought to be represented in the decision-making process that determines the public good. So when we look at the history of labor organizing in the United States, and we're going to learn that in this class, because immigrants coming into the U.S. have always organized for their rights. And it's from the beginning, when the immigrants came in. We will learn that. We're going to learn that from the white beans. We're going to learn that from the black beans, from the red beans, from the yellow beans, from the brown beans, okay? The idea, the struggle is you create unions that guarantee existence to workers. The idea is to gain a living wage. And that, Brenda has been fraught with violence because the state has sanctioned violence against those demonstrations. And they've always been peaceful. It was immigrants who started the first unions. Throughout U.S. history, immigrants have always challenged organized labor to support their cause. Organized labor, likewise, recognizes the merits of supporting the organizational struggle of immigrants. Today, immigrants in this country have provided a tremendous boost to the labor organizing efforts in the United States because immigrants are the new backbone of labor. So let's go to a film clip sharing with us the Coalition of Immokalee Workers and how these immigrants are continuing the tradition that we're going to be understanding from the previous immigrant groups at the turn of the century, of the 19th century.
For generations, farm work has been one of the lowest paid and least protected jobs in the country.
Los sueldos han caído en términos reales desde 1980, que provocó al Departamento de Labor de los Estados Unidos llamar a los trabajadores agrícolas una mano de obra en gran peligro económico.
90% of this country's winter tomatoes are grown right here in Florida each year. Farm workers have historically faced regular abuse in the fields, including wage theft, sexual violence, and in the most extreme cases, forced labor. The Coalition of Immokalee Workers, a human rights organization, is rewriting this history through its Fair Food program, a groundbreaking model of social responsibility based on a unique partnership among farm workers, growers, and major retail brands. Its goal is to raise wages and affirm the dignity of workers in the fields.
Hoy el programa por comida justa ha empezado a transformar la industria y a proteger los derechos humanos fundamentales de los trabajadores.
Here's how it works. Buyers like Subway, McDonald's, and Walmart each pay growers a penny per pound premium on tomatoes, which growers pass on to their workers in the form of a bonus. More than $14 million in just 3 years. To participate, growers must adhere to the Fair Food Code of Conduct, which outlines workers' new rights under the program. Fair Food farms ensure zero tolerance for forced labor. Prohibitions against verbal and physical abuse, including sexual harassment. Safe working conditions such as shade, clean restrooms, and drinking water. The right to report abuses without fear of retaliation, and a fair wage. The Fair Food Standards Council is a third-party monitor created to investigate complaints and ensure compliance through regular audits on the farms. The Fair Food Standards Council also staffs a 24-hour hotline for farm workers and helps them navigate a complaint resolution process whenever there's a problem on the farm.
Bajo el programa por comida justa, la Coalición de Trabajadores de Immokalee conduce sesiones de educación de trabajador a trabajador para informar a los trabajadores de sus nuevos derechos y sus responsabilidades.
To enforce these standards, participating buyers commit to buying Florida tomatoes only from growers in good standing with the program.
Pero todavía hay trabajo que hacer para expandir esos cambios pioneros más allá que la industria de tomate de Florida.
Your role is critical. You can help expand the Fair Food Program and eliminate human rights abuses in the fields.
Juntos podemos asegurar que el nuevo día amanecerá no solamente en Florida, sino por más de cientos de miles de trabajadores agrícolas en todo el país.
Find out how you can make a difference. Go to fairfoodprogram.org.
Okay, so that's the importance of the immigrant experience and labor organizing. Immigrants have always been part of the unionization efforts. Again, when we take a look at the history of labor organizing in the United States, the struggle to create unions that guarantee a subsistence existence to workers has always been fraught with intense conflict. So immigrants started the first unions throughout the U.S., and throughout U.S. history, immigrants have always challenged organized labor, and they're doing that to this day, as we can see through the coalition of Immokalee workers. So let's go to another term, and that is assimilation. And in assimilation, when you come into this system, again, what the system is different than what you're used to. How much are you willing to give up in order to be acknowledged as a member of the system? When we take a look at immigrants coming into this country, immigrants are always willing to assimilate. Okay? Assimilation is a general requirement for citizenship. You have to learn the language. You have to adhere to the customs. You have to become and become part of the consuming society. So most immigrants have always participated in the larger society, and they endeavor to become a part of the community. So the reality of the situation dictates that the assimilation process requires different kinds of generational experiences, and we are going to understand that assimilation. Okay? This is what the immigration process is all about.